God says, there is something coming. You cannot see it, however heaven can. It smiles on its way in your door. It is not meant to damage you, however if you ignore this moment, it would. It is why Archangel Michael is pleading, and he's by no means one to beg. You have 20 seconds earlier than a shift starts. 20 seconds earlier than spiritual sight visitors turns pink or inexperienced. 20 seconds earlier than a door both opens or stays closed for the following 7 years. 20 seconds to concentrate, to behave, to obey. Due to the fact what occurs tomorrow, on July 10th, will now not be random. It will no longer be mild. It will now not be something you may pray away later. It will likely be something that was both prevented by motion or invited via lack of expertise. Michael says, I order you to open this now. This is not just any other message. This isn't always just some other non-secular text to scroll through and overlook. This is an alarm. A divine siren from the heavens that something is transferring. Something is coming. Something has been allowed to bypass through realms, both to bless or to interrupt. And also you need to be positioned efficaciously. He says with pressure and urgency, in case you postpone, you'll regret it. If you obey, you may witness the beginning of a miracle that changed into behind schedule for years. That is why this has reached you nowadays. Due to the fact heaven is attempting to exchange something in your property, bodily, emotionally, spiritually. And it need to start now. Something is hooked up to your private home. Something antique. Something unseen. Something nobody talks approximately but everybody feels. You've sensed it. The heaviness. The confusion. The resistance while you try to do something significant. The unexplained fatigue. The surprising monetary stops. The overdue nighttime restlessness. You have lit candles. You've got prayed. You've got cried. You've advised yourself it is just pressure. But it isn't always. Heaven sees what is there. And day after today, on July 10th, something will try to take form again. However, this time, you have been warned. This time, you can stop it. Or this time, you could welcome the divine explosion that will clean it all. It relies on what you do in the next few minutes. God says this has been deliberate for a long term. The enemy knew that July 10th become going to be your turning factor. It is why there's been warfare to your thoughts, chaos in your conversations, and odd conduct from people close to you. It turned into meant to confuse you. To empty you. To distract you. However, heaven is redirecting your eyes. The mild is piercing the darkness now. You are being passed a preference, surrender to the vintage, or open your fingers to the new. However, the new can't stay wherein the hidden darkness still is living. It's why Archangel Michael isn't always whispering. He's shouting. And for the first time for your existence, he is begging you. Begging with urgency, not due to the fact he's vulnerable, but due to the fact you're too crucial to disregard. Michael is not a messenger of moderate warnings. he is the angel of battle. While he speaks, it manner the spiritual realm has hit its highest degree of war. And if Michael says something is going on in your private home the following day, trust it. Not the whole lot seen is harmless. Now not every silence is peace. You have omitted signs before, but this one can't be missed. There's a generational difficulty approximately to be broken, or endured, based totally to your spiritual obedience nowadays. You have been born right into a bloodline that carried each favor and warfare. The prefer become attacked early. You observed it. As a child, you carried joy, insight, vision. However, then the assaults started. The distractions, the losses, the styles. You stored thinking, why does it feel like I'm fighting something I cannot name? Why do I experience like something is in the back of me, looking me, restricting me, shaping how others treat me? It is because your own home, your physical residing and your religious area, has been focused. And the following day, its miles scheduled to heighten. However, God has intervened. And that is why you are right here, reading this, whilst heaven waits to your full agreement. Due to the fact whilst you believe reality, it breaks the lie's permission to live. Archangel Michael says, that is a matter of urgency. Don't just pray, command. Don't simply pay attention, act. Do not simply hope, put together. Due to the fact in case you forget about this moment, it may cost a little you 7 greater years of postpone. There's a woman involved on this. A girl whose actions in secret opened a spiritual door on your lifestyles years in the past. She in no way idea you would find out. But the next day, that reality is going to begin leaking. And if your private home is not covered, if your atmosphere isn't always cleansed, then her electricity will discover a manner back in through manipulation, false compassion, or maybe via human beings pretending to care. This lady used to pray with you. Or at least pretended to. She smiled at your achievement. But every time something precise befell to you, something in her became sour. She in no way instructed you without delay, however she sabotaged you with words. With thoughts. With agreement with evil forces. She desired what you had. She attempted to duplicate your calling. However, what's divine can't be duplicated. It is able to handiest be behind schedule. And he or she nearly succeeded. Till now. God says, I am ending the put-off. I'm breaking her fake alliances. I am slicing the twine she tied to your name. However, I need your obedience. I need your presence. I want you alert. Do no longer sleep vile this second. Do no longer silence your spirit once more. Do no longer provide an explanation for away what your intuition screams is real. If Michael is begging, it is due to the fact your calling is uncommon. Because your challenge is time-touchy. Due to the fact your own family cannot take any other year of cycles. Because what you deliver will not most effective set you free, it'll spoil chains off others. This is why you have been attacked a lot. It turned into in no way about simply you. It became approximately your seed, your legacy, your destiny. Day after today, July 10th, a divine confrontation is set. Your house could be visited. You can determine who walks in heaven, or what hides in darkness. God has organized angels to transport for your want, but simplest if you say yes now. Simplest if you pray this night. Handiest if you command your space. Most effective if you speak out loud what should be silenced for all time. There are papers, legal, non-secular, emotional, which might be being drafted in heaven with your call on them. Some to cancel curses. Others to launch benefits. But both require your verbal settlement. You must communicate it. You must claim, no greater darkness in my residence. No greater secrets shaping my destiny. No extra pretending I do not see. I pick out the mild. I choose the truth. I pick out the safety of heaven. This could be a non-secular shift. And sure, physical changes will comply with. Don't be amazed if a person confesses something surprising. Do not be amazed if something breaks down or falls aside the following day. It isn't always destruction. It smiles divine surgical operation. Sometimes God need to put off what you beg to keep, simply to offer you what you were born to hold. Consider what ends. Believe who leaves. Believe what is uncovered. This isn't random. This is divine order in actual time. You may feel your heart beating quicker now. You can sense chills. You can even sense like crying. That is your soul reacting to truth. Don't push it away. Permit it smash through. Due to the fact what's going on isn't always ordinary. It's supernatural. It's the mercy of God showing up with the very last alert before the storm either hits or is redirected. This hurricane is not coming to punish. It is coming to reveal. And you're both prepared or you are in denial. There is no in among anymore. Michael says, your prayers were heard. But now it's not about what you've requested for. It's about what you are willing to obey. Will you act? Will you prepare? Will you stand your ground the next day and spiritually command each unclean presence to go away your private home? Your family, your bloodline? If you do, the shift could be huge. Miracles will unfold. Doors will fly open. You'll be contacted by a person you in no way thought could go back. You may get hold of something financially that felt not possible. You may see desires come again to lifestyles. Due to the fact that is what happens whilst the darkness is uncovered and eliminated. However, if you ignore this, the sample may also continue. Not due to the fact God would not love you. However, because He honors preference, you have got unfastened will. However, you furthermore may have divine get entry too. And this message became no longer dispatched lightly. It become written with fire. It become breathed into this moment with urgency. Because your existence is ready to break huge open, for higher or worse. And God desires it to be higher. Heaven wants you healed. Michael wishes you protected. But you have to choose to behave earlier than the hour turns. You don't need an ideal prayer. You need an honest one. You do not need to realize what is coming. You want to prepare a door it subjects. Because it does. Inside the subsequent 24 hours, your call will be spoken via a person you do not count on. Something related for your beyond will upward thrust. However, it will now not have strength until you supply it attention. Instead, deliver attention for your strength. For your authority. In your divine proper to say, now not in my residence. Now not in my family. Not in my thoughts. Now not anymore. Heaven has moved before you. Now it's your turn. Communicate. Stand. Cleanse your space. Smash the ties. Burn the lies. And watch how the whole lot shifts. Due to the fact the clock is ticking. And you've just enough time to respond. Michael is not asking anymore. He's ordering. And it's because you are cherished beyond comprehension. You are chosen. You're blanketed. And you are geared up. God says, what is ready to take region day after today in your private home isn't always random. It isn't always a coincidence. It is a divinely scheduled second that became written into the cloth of time long before you have been born. And now the heavens are trembling. Angels are status on full alert, and Archangel Michael, your non-public protector, is crying out to you, begging with every fiber of his holy being, only for 20 seconds, because he is aware of what is coming. He is not commanding this out of fear, but out of divine love. He is pleading with you due to the fact something sacred, something irreversible, something lifestyles moving is ready to occur in your home, and it can't be ignored. That is your second. That is your crossing point. This is in which the whole lot can trade, however you have to listen now. God is watching. He is speaking through Michael. Michael does no longer weep for everybody. Michael does not enhance his voice unless the situation needs it. But now, he isn't always whispering. He's weeping and shouting and sending a typhoon of heavenly vibration directly into your spirit to awaken you before it's far too past due. Due to the fact something is status at your step. Now not someone. No longer a package. But a divine reality, and it's miles about to pass the edge of your home. You ought to open your coronary heart right now and allow the light to enter. God has seen what has been going on at the back of closed doorways. He has visibled the battles which you fought while no one become watching. He has seen the name of the game attacks on your peace, the battle for your intellectual stability, the non-secular whispers inside the night time that attempted to persuade you to give up. But you didn't. You hung on. Even if it turned into slightly. Although it was with trembling hands. And now, that energy is being rewarded with divine rescue. Michael says there is something in your private home that should be exposed. Now not something you could contact or see with natural eyes, but a presence that has overstayed its welcome. A spirit of worry. A spirit of deception. A spirit of manipulation that got here in through a phrase, a person, an item, a memory, and now it has tangled itself into your surroundings. and heaven says no more. God is drawing a line. Archangel Michael has been given permission to go into your space with holy hearth and remove what you couldn't eliminate for your personal. But this requires your participation. The miracle is ready. The shift is in movement. But you ought to open the door. Spiritually, emotionally, mentally. If you ignore this message, Michael says the warning will nevertheless echo, but you might not understand it until after the moment passes. That is why this message is urgent. That's why Michael simplest has 20 seconds to shout. Due to the fact the non-secular window is short. The next day, July 10th, your private home will both turn out to be a resting area for miracles or a battleground of confusion relying on what you select these days. You aren't by myself. You are not loopy. You are not imagining this pull for your spirit. That uneasy feeling for your chest. That unexpected cognizance for your soul. That is no longer tension. That is Michael standing in front of you along with his sword raised. Now not to harm, however to sever ties to each demonic agreement ever made towards you. Your home is a sacred place, but it has been targeted. Now not because you are susceptible, however because you're powerful. The enemy fears your leap forward. He fears your subsequent level. It is why you've been below such pressure. But the strain is set to break. The chains are about to fall. The heaviness you've got carried in your house is set to boost. Michael has been stationed out of doors your home for hours, looking ahead to the final move ahead. And now, God says, proceed. But you need to be awake. You must be ready. You ought to understand the gravity of what's unfolding. Your obedience will release the following chapter. Your prayer will clear the room. Your voice, sure, yours, will echo through the heavens like thunder if you communicate it with religion. This isn't always about faith. This isn't always about guidelines. That is approximately dating. God needs get admission to your private home. He desires get admission to on your kitchen wherein you cried silently whilst cooking. He needs get admission to in your bedroom wherein sleep has deserted you. He wants get entry to in your front door in order that every spirit that changed into now not dispatched via him will flee in terror. Because when God walks into your private home, nothing unholy can stay. And tomorrow is the moment wherein he steps in case you let him. Michael says, say this aloud, God, I open the doors of my home to you. Come in and get rid of what I can't see. Purify the air, the walls, the beds, the silence. Remove each spirit that has settled right here illegally. Permit your angels take fee. Allow Michael lead the clean-up. When you say this, something will break. You'll sense it. You may cry. You can tremble. But something ancient and darkish will depart. As it changed into by no means supposed to live. It changed into an uninvited guest that determined a crack. And now the seal of heaven is being positioned over your home. God is taking walks into your home tomorrow. A divine inspection is underway. Not to punish, but to repair. He's going to brush fire each room. The muddle in your spirit will clean. The secrets hiding in corners may be exposed to mild. Despite the fact that someone in your home has been wearing secrets or lies or bringing in confusion, it'll no longer remaining. The surroundings is ready to shift. Peace will return. Joy will go back. Divine order is coming. You may experience resistance. You can feel worry try to upward push. It is the vintage strength panicking, as it knows its time is up. Do not allow it convince you to disregard this. Don't let it silence your urgency. This message is your lifeline. That is why you have been guided here. Not for amusement. Not by using accident. However, by means of divine orchestration. Your soul cried out, and heaven responded. And now Michael is knocking. However, heaven will not barge in. You should welcome it. You should activate it. God isn't indignant with you. He is not disillusioned. He's in love with your soul. He's proud of ways some distance you've got come. And he wants to end what he started out. This message is not only a warning. It is a celebration. Because something right is attempting to reach you, but it's been blocked. And now that blockage is being eliminated. That stagnation is breaking. That postpone is ending. Day after today, the 10th of July, a portal will open above your own home, and angels will descend with instructions, blessings, readability, and protection. However simplest in case you pay attention now. It's now not simply your lifestyles at stake. It's your peace. Your price range. Your relationships. Your health. Your mind. All these things are tied to what occurs in your property. Your property is a gate. It's either a gate for God or a gate for confusion. And now, you've got the electricity to shut the incorrect gate and open the proper one. Don't wait till the next day to behave. Put together today. Stroll through each room and declare. Handiest God's presence is welcome right here. Handiest peace might also stay. All else need to go. You'll feel something shift. Michael says he is status along with his hand prolonged to you. Now not to drag you out, however to stroll with you into your house with divine hearth. You will in no way sense the same. Something in your private home will feel cleanser, lighter, extra alive. It truly is the Holy Spirit recopying what changed into once hijacked by worry and heaviness. Your house is turning into a temple once more. No longer just for you, but to your own family, your future children, your future. The curse ends right here. The chaos ends right here. The ache that lingers in corners ends here. God says this second is being recorded inside the e-book of days. The movement you are taking now will echo via your destiny. The words you speak now will build the next season. The shift that starts tomorrow is the begin of a holy chain response. Doorways will open to your lifestyles. Humans will seem with solutions. Money will come wherein there was none. Peace will bloom where tension reigned. However, you must pick it. You must associate with it. You have to welcome heaven into your private home. And whilst it happens, you may take into account this message. You'll don't forget how Michael begged you for 20 seconds. You'll recall the urgency to your heart, the divine stirring you couldn't explain. That was God. That turned into love. That become your Father combating in your protection, your readability, your pleasure. Because you remember. Due to the fact your own home topics. Due to the fact your future is too vital to permit even one extra day of non-secular darkness to cover in your area. Tomorrow, the whole lot changes. In case you allow it. If you trust God. In case you take this severely. You are not crazy for feeling that the ecosystem in your home has been off. You were discerning. You are not overreacting. You're spiritually wakeful. It truly is why you're being warned. This is why you are being prepared. This message is your affirmation. Now breathe deeply. Stand tall. Say aloud one more time, God, I give you my residence. I provide you with my environment.